Hey everybody, Mandy here from Soul Star Energy Collective, here to do your weekly card reading. Today is Monday, January 6th. I'm going to pull 3 cards for you today. So if you're new, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. You're just kind of meant to feel into whether card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3 has a message for you. But before we get into it, just a couple of quick announcements. Actually 2 really big announcements. The first one is that things are shifting in Soul Star for us. So what that looks like is Allison is going to be stepping more into the forefront. So she's going to be here on social media with you. She's going to be the teacher. She's going to be the reader. She's kind of taking on that role of the leader within the business. And I'm going to be taking a bit of a step back. And I'm going to be doing all the behind the scenes stuff and doing some of the business operations, if you will, if that's a good way to explain it. So I'm not leaving Soul Star. I am still with Soul Star. I'm still working with the energy of Soul Star, working with Allison. I love this business and what we've been creating together, what we've been building together, but we're just taking on some different roles. Part of the reason is because my guidance from my guides has asked me to create space for something that's coming forward for me in this new year. And I don't know what that looks like or what that is necessarily, or how that's going to transpire, but what kind of teachers would we be if we didn't lead by example and follow our own intuitive hits? So you know, part of listening to your intuition is trusting and having faith and just kind of taking the steps that you're being asked to take, the steps, those little breadcrumbs. So that is kind of how things are shifting and how that's working for us. And so we got to just trust and have faith that everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out, and everything's aligning the way it's supposed to align. And that feels really good. So I'm just so grateful for everybody that joins me on my Monday card readings or in class. I have really enjoyed being here and showing up and doing the Instagram and all the social stuff. I will still be part of the podcast, so don't worry about that for any podcast listeners. I love the podcast. I love laughing with Allison every week and sharing that with you guys. So that will still be the same. But on social media, you'll get to see Alli's beautiful face and hear her beautiful voice and her messages. And then she's also going to be the main reader, intuitive reader for Soul Star, and the teacher, of course. So with that being said, we are shifting the services with Soul Star as well. So Alli has created this beautiful soul coaching or soul guidance session. It's a 90-minute session where she will do a deep dive into your energy and into your question. So it is really meant for people who are going through a difficult time or feeling really frustrated with their path or really needing some direction, some clarity on where they're going. People who are going through a difficult time, a transition in life, whether that's grief or career change or just feeling really stuck and needing some push forward or some clarity from their inner wisdom, from their spirit guide. So Alli will be doing a 90-minute soul guidance session, or offering that, excuse me. It is an introductory price for anybody who's interested in that. I think it's at $155 until the end of the month. So that's even way less than what we typically would offer for a regular reading. So again, it's a soul coaching session. Then you do have the option to book a follow-up session, because quite often when we do a deep dive into the energy like that, it can bring some things up, some healing opportunities. And so Alli will be giving practical tools and guidance on how to kind of move through that, and really sitting with you to make sure that you're understanding the guidance that is coming forward and that it's anchoring in. One of her specialties is holding space for these types of readings, and she's just so good at it. So she's created this beautiful service to help people through these times, or through difficult times, or through transitions, or however that looks. And then again, if you want to book a follow-up session with her to kind of continue that guidance, or there's an opportunity for that too. And then the only other service that will be available at this time is an Akashic Records reading, because who doesn't love the Akashic Records and hearing about their past lives? So Akashic Records is going to be a 30-minute reading. Price point is $97 for that, Canadian. And that's a kind of connection to your Akashic Records to understand, like past lives, karma, soul contracts, family matters, love, career. Like if you're just like, I just really need to know about this relationship, or I really need to know what's going to happen in my career, or what's going on with my children, or something like that. That's a beautiful service to book there. So that will be a 30-minute reading, and of course done over Zoom. And I think that's it. So everything's changing effective immediately. So this will be my last card reading. Again, thank you so much for everybody that joins me when I get to do these readings. You may see me pop in and out once in a while, but you'll definitely be able to connect with me over at the podcast. So if you don't listen to the podcast, love for you to check that out. It is called The Soul Star Podcast. But let's get into it. So we'll start with, let me just see, do I have time for 3 cards? We'll do 2 messages this week, okay? So if you just want to take a second to feel into whether card number 1 or card number 2 has a message for you, you can ask the question and then assign a card. You can just kind of leave it general, see what energy is coming for you this week, but let's connect to card 1, please. Oh, I'm using this new deck of mine by Denise Lynn. It's called Soul Coaching. Anything with some really good imagery, I just love. Okay, card 1. That was not it. I said 1 card. I do find these ones hard to shuffle. They're very thick. There we go. It's called Sanctuary. Okay. So it sort of feels, whoever chose card number 1, the energy that I'm feeling for you is kind of like this, I don't know, it sort of feels like there is something coming into your awareness that you're kind of seeing in a different perspective or in a different light. It's almost like you just going through your week or going through your day to do everything's normal, and then something catches your attention and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that doesn't seem right. And then you kind of do a little bit of investigating or a little bit of digging, or something comes into your awareness that like you're in your, like a phrase or maybe a headline, like a news story or something. And it's just like, it kind of pings for you to force you to look elsewhere. So it's almost like somebody's pulling the veil away for you. You're seeing something in a new light. You're understanding something in a new light. Almost even like a truth is coming forward for you this week, or clarity is coming forward for you this week. And it's just forcing you to kind of like understand something or things in a different way. And so you're kind of forced to look in the shadow, even though you prefer to not be in the shadow. In a sense, you're just, you got your blinders on and you're just like, living my life, doing my thing. And then something like pulls you to look over here. And it's like, it's kind of shadowy and you're just like trying to figure out what that is, like who's in there or whatever is happening over here. So, but I don't feel any fear for this. I just feel curiosity. And I just feel interest, like intrigue. And calmness. So it's not like there's going to be anything fear-based about this. It is just something's coming into your awareness, asking you to look to the left instead of forward, and to contemplate, to reflect, to look at it, to try to understand it, because it's just bringing your awareness elsewhere for a reason. What is the reason? Let's just see here. I feel like the reason is just to bring in more knowledge and more wisdom for you, to align you more with your truth, or with the path that you've been on. And it's kind of like, if you imagine yourself, they're just showing me this image of you walking in a forest down a path. And you've got like your shrubs and your bushes in your forest, like it's a thick forest on either side of you. And we can get so focused on like looking ahead and making sure we don't stumble on the roots, or we're not going to walk into like a tree trunk or something like that. But it's almost like something's rustling in the forest to your left, and they just want you to to look at it, to see, to understand it, to connect with it. So it's almost like, a reminder even that there's other things that exist within the forest other than you. So to connect to that and to understand that there's so much more to your reality than just you, and to I just like bring that awareness. It's just bringing an awareness to that. And then once that awareness comes in for you, to not just kind of like fluff it off and continue to walk forward. They really want you to stop and to think about it, and to try to understand it, or try to connect to it from your heart. And they're really making an emphasis on the heart and seeing the beauty within it, seeing the gratitude within it, like finding that gratitude for maybe for the experience, I guess. I'm not really sure. So yeah, so just paying attention to kind of like what comes into your awareness that this week that might be like asking you to fix or change your focus elsewhere. But also remembering that you are on this path. So there's like an element of distraction that goes with that. And it's okay to be distracted and to connect to it and to understand it, but then to continue on from it. It's almost like there's like a learning opportunity here for you, but to not allow it to pull you off path and be like, oh, what's in this dark forest? And just like starting, your own path this way. It's just stay on your path. Just acknowledge this distraction or this thing that's coming in, learn from it, connect to gratitude, and then like continue to move forward. Okay, so we're gonna do card 2. Oops, sorry, that was probably loud. Card 2. Okay, it's called Emerging. So for card 2, I feel like this sense of renewal. I feel this sense of almost like this energy of you starting a new beginning. And that's interesting because of the announcement I just made with Soul Star. It's kind of like we're starting a new beginning. With Soul Star, things have shifted, and it is like a new beginning. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting for card number 2. But it also feels like there has been a period of stillness and a period of quietness. And it's almost like you're feeling this energy. This week's energy is coming in, and it's allowing you to feel this need, or this energy of stepping up and stepping out, and maybe sharing your voice a little bit louder, or sharing your face, or maybe even going to an event or that you typically wouldn't go to because in the past year or two you've kind of been hermiting, or you've been in solitude. But it feels like there's been a transformation that has happened deep within, and you're ready to start showing that on the outside. You're ready to start getting out there, and and really showing up in a different way, and there's this beauty and a groundedness to that energy that I feel too. Like I almost feel like you're stepping out into this new energy, or this new energy is asking you to show up a little bit differently, and I feel this groundedness and this wisdom deep within you. I feel like you're rooted in to who you truly are, or you really know yourself differently than you were like 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever that is. I feel like whatever this new beginning is shifting for you, you are emerging a different person than you have been. And there's this beauty and this transformation to it. It also feels like there is a trajectory upwards for you. So to follow the path, to follow the light, to lead from your heart, and that will always lead you into the most aligned path. So that's a beautiful energy. It's a refreshing energy for you. So yeah. Anyways, that is our card reading. I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you around. Again, thank you so much for being here with us, and we'll see you on the podcast. And if you have any questions, please reach out, DM us, check out our new services, and stay tuned for some workshops or masterminds that are coming forward, and some new courses. We have there's a lot of creativity happening now that things are shifting. So we'll see you around. Bye.